Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Raven Rayne Winter. And Raven Rayne Winter has a follow-up question to my earlier vlog on the subject of twin souls, the idea that a surviving twin might also have the soul of a deceased twin dwelling within their own body. And by extension, whether or not it is possible for two souls to be in one body. And as you remember, my answer to that was I do not believe that to be the case, that there might be a very strong level of communication and attachment from the deceased twin soul, but it would not actually be dwelling within the person's body, though it might feel that way to the person. So Raven Rayne Winter has this follow-up question, and Raven says that this made them think of the idea of possession and people who claim to be possessed by demons, ghosts, spirits, etc. And what do I think of this? And is it the same answer or a separate kind of situation? And I would have to say this is in some ways also a follow-up to our previous vlog on the subject of demons. And it has a little bit of the same quality in that I'm going to say that the answer depends partly on how you're using this word, possession. If you're using it in the Roman Catholic Hollywood Linda Blair sort of way, I don't buy it. The idea that some sort of evil interloper can just take over your body and evict your actual soul or suppress it, I do not believe as such. Now, if on the other hand we're talking about the idea of possession the way some people use the word to mean oracular messaging. You see it used this way, for example, by some people describing African traditional religion, where people will be ridden by their deities and express them in ritual and other situations. That's a different question. And I do believe in that. I do oracle work myself. Of course I believe in that. But I don't think these are the same concept. And so to the former, the Hollywood Linda Blair Roman Catholic Oogie-Boogie possession idea, I would give the same answer that I gave to the twin soul question. I do not believe that another soul can be dwelling in the same body, let alone take it over. Now, as to the other use of the word to describe oracular work, I still don't believe you can have two souls in one body. Even when you are aspecting a deity, so to speak, it is not that there are two souls in your body, it's that you're having a very strong communication. In African traditional religion, this is described as being ridden, and I think that is a better way to describe it. It's not that the two have become one, but that one is acting through the other voluntarily. And I would say that even when it's not consciously voluntarily, it's still spiritually voluntary. And I would say that when you do oracle work, you bring through very strong communication, which enters through your crown chakra, takes its fabric from your mind, because the communication is telepathic in character, not verbal. Words must come from what you already know, and then is expressed. And this can also be behaviors, and sometimes you will not be conscious while you're doing this. Very often you won't remember it. Sometimes you won't even be conscious during it. And so it might seem like you've been displaced, but I would say you really have not been displaced. Rather, the communication is simply so strong that all that you can do is bring it through. And this is a great skill. And for most people, it does not come naturally. You have to learn it. And it is not, in my opinion, related at all to the Hollywood Oogie-Boogie idea of possession. And I personally would never use the term possession to describe it. But I do know that people from some other backgrounds would. So if that's what you're talking about, yes, I do believe in that phenomenon, but it has nothing to do with two souls in one body. But rather it is the spirit speaking through you, not displacing you or suppressing you. Though again, it may be so strong that you might not have consciousness in that moment, you might not have memory after, because it's a very strong energy to work with. Again, I don't believe that you can have two souls in one body as such, but you can have a very tight connection, a very strong communication. And particularly in oracular work, this is something which usually people work to develop and to undertake. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be.
Asperse. To asperse something is to sprinkle it with blessed water for the purpose of cleansing, blessing, or consecrating it. The water may be the type of holy water you have learned to make in these lessons, or it may be any of the several other kinds of blessed water commonly used in magic. You will learn more about other kinds of blessed water that may be used for aspersing in future lessons.